Do you think Putin is a rational actor?
I think he is a rational actor who's miscalculated significantly. I just think it's irrational.
So if he's not rational and...
No, I didn't say he's not rational.
You said the speech wasn't rational.
I think the speech is,
okay.
His objectives were not right. I think he thought, Jake, he thought he was going to be welcomed with open arms. That this has been the home of Mother Russia in Kyiv, and he was going to be welcomed. And I think he just totally miscalculated.
I love that. What? I mean, he's just not being rational. I mean, he's rational, but that was irrational. He's irrational. Oh, gosh. Joining me now, our buddy Bryan Dean Wright, host of the great President's Daily Brief podcast. Less than 20 minutes and you're updated on all the news of the day and you get to sound smarter than your friends. That's why I listen. Bryan, okay, before we get into Joe and Russia, Ukraine and everything else, let's focus on somebody that I don't know. Vladimir Putin. Is he rational? Is he in his right mind? I've heard rumors he's sick. I've heard rumors he wants to be like Stalin. I don't know who this guy is. Who is he?
Yeah, look, so there's been a lot of guesstimation and people saying that they think that they know who this man is and his mental state. The fact of the matter is very few people actually do. And the only time that we've ever heard from the intelligence community on this, they have said that, in fact, Vladimir Putin is not crazy. He is not at death's door. He is, in fact, a rational actor who, in their view, he made a profound mistake, particularly in his opening days of trying to take Kiev and other places. But he is not an irrational man, so we should just absolutely toss that out of our head at this point. He might become increasingly dangerous, if he loses people and equipment in Ukraine, but he's not a crazy man.
Okay, setting aside everything that our government and media has said, because I don't trust them, I don't trust our government or media, I don't trust Russia's government or media, I don't trust Ukraine's government or media. Let's focus on what Putin has said about why he invaded. Because he did amass an army at the border and invade. Why?
Well, his view is that the West, particularly the United States and Europe, have been increasingly encroaching on what he views to be kind of his backyard, right? So Ukraine, the Baltic nations, now Finland and other places, you're getting much, much closer to his country. So he's saying, look, NATO, stop coming closer to my nation with your troops, with your weaponry. That is going to cause us a problem. You get too close and all bets are off. It's like if China were to set up shop in Cuba like the Soviet Union did back in the 1960s. There is a red line, and Putin is saying we have crossed it in terms of our engagement and our pushing of NATO further and further into his territory. That's his argument.
Okay, have we crossed it? I asked that for this reason. I think the normal person would think, Finland? What's he worried about? Finland invading? That sounds crazy. What is this guy, paranoid, or is he lying, or did we cross it?
Yeah, I think most reasonable people will say, starting back in the 1990s, we started to get further and further into his territory. So that is, I think, a fair, critique or argument. Henry Kissinger, of course, the great Secretary of State, he said, look, we've gone too far. We've pushed too far into Russian territory, Russian interests. So it is ultimately Putin's, it's on him for having done this, having invaded. But we did contribute to the conditions. That's Kissinger's argument, and that's other people's argument. So people can decide if that's fair or not. But I do think that there is a reasonable argument to be made that this atmosphere of conflict, we have contributed to it.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, Che Guevara, the latest episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.